So today, we're going to talk about a car that has a ton of pressure on it, the 2027 Volvo EX60. Now, this isn't just another electric SUV. You can think of it as Volvo's critical second chance, its comeback story in the electric age.
So, the big question is, can it really deliver? To really get why the EX60 is such a big deal, we've got to rewind a little bit and look at Volvo's pretty difficult journey into the whole EV space. You see, the company's faced some serious bumps in the road, and this new car is being built from the ground up to be the answer to all of that. Alright, so before we dive into all the cool new tech and the shiny design, we need to talk about the road that got Volvo here. And, well, it's been pretty bumpy to say the least. This context is absolutely crucial to understanding why the EX60 even exists. This quote from EV Powered, it just hits the nail on the head, right? The first big EV releases, the EX30 and EX90, they just felt a little off. They didn't have that rock-solid, dependable feel that you just expect from a Volvo. It created this feeling of, well, un-Volvo-ness among the people who know and love the brand. And listen, these weren't just little annoyances. We're talking about major software problems that were, frankly, kind of a disaster for a brand built on reliability. You had cars being delayed for months, keyless entry systems that just wouldn't work, infotainment screens that would completely freeze up, and maybe most terrifying, reports of cars just losing power on the highway. Yikes. These issues did some serious damage to Volvo's reputation.
So what was the deal here? What actually went wrong? Well, the root of the problem wasn't the nuts and bolts, it wasn't the hardware. It was a massive, really difficult shift in how cars are actually built these days, the big move to a software-defined architecture.
Yeah, Volvo, like a lot of the old-school car makers, was basically trying to become a tech company that just happens to build cars. They made the switch to this software-defined vehicle model where pretty much one single central computer controls everything. Now, the potential for that is huge, but boy, making that transition is incredibly tough.
Think about it like this. The old way, it was a mess. A tangled web of dozens of different computer boxes from a bunch of different suppliers that barely talk to each other. The new way, the software-defined way, it's so much cleaner. It means simpler wiring, less weight, and you can push updates over the air, just like your phone. But getting it right? Well, that's a huge undertaking.
And look, even Volvo's CEO at the time, Håkan Samuelsson, he admitted how hard it was, but he explained exactly why they had to do it. By controlling all the software themselves, they can move way faster, innovate, fix bugs instantly, all without having to call up a dozen different suppliers. It's a game changer, if you can pull it off.
Okay, and that whole difficult journey brings us right here to the EX60. Because after going through that software storm and learning some really painful lessons, Volvo is now pouring everything they've learned into what might be their most important car ever.
Now, to really get the stakes here, you have to understand this one thing. The gas-powered XC60, it is the best-selling Volvo of all time, period. So the EX60 isn't just another EV, it's the heir to the throne, designed to take over the most important spot in their entire lineup. No pressure, right?
And just look at it. Visually, it is classic Volvo. It's that beautiful, clean, Scandinavian minimalism we all know. You've got those iconic Thor's hammer headlights, a really sleek, almost wagon-like shape, and an interior that's stripped back, focused on sustainable materials, and this gorgeous 15-inch center screen. It's just modern, classy, and 100% a Volvo.
But here's the thing. Underneath that gorgeous design, that's where the real revolution is happening. To make sure the mistakes of the past don't happen again, the EX60 is built on a totally new platform using some really innovative manufacturing techniques.
A huge part of this is something called gigacasting, and it's a total game changer. Instead of welding together, dozens of little metal pieces, they're using these massive presses to stamp out huge parts of the car's frame in one single piece. This makes everything simpler, lighter, and stronger.
Volvo's own chief technology officer, Anders Bell, he summed it up perfectly. It's that simple. This new way of building, plus a new, simplified battery pack, just makes for a better car. And I love this detail. He even mentioned the new battery is designed to be way easier to repair. That's a really thoughtful touch.
And what about performance? Well, it is not lacking. The lineup starts with a really solid 369 horsepower rear-wheel drive model, and it just gets crazier from there, all the way up to a frankly bonkers 670 horsepower all-wheel drive version. So yeah, there's pretty much an option for everybody here. And then you've got the number everyone cares about, range.
With the biggest battery, the EX60 is aiming for a massive 400 miles on a single charge. This is a direct shot at range anxiety, probably the biggest hurdle for people thinking about switching to an EV, and it puts the EX60 right at the top of its class.
So, okay, let's put all the pieces together. You've got the hard lessons learned from those early software glitches. You've got this brand new manufacturing platform, the amazing design, the killer specs. What does it all add up to for Volvo?
Honestly, it means pretty much everything. The EX60 is really a return to normalcy for them. It's a return to those core Volvo values: dependability, safety, and really thoughtful design. And maybe the most symbolic part of all is that it's going to be built in their historic home factory in Sweden. It's like the EV program is finally coming home. But there's always a but, right? The final question is still out there. On paper, this car looks absolutely incredible. But after the stumbles with the EX30 and EX90, the real test is whether it can deliver that flawless, reliable experience that we all just expect from a car with a Volvo badge on it. Its success is really going to define Volvo's future in this super competitive electric world. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the whole story behind the Volvo EX60. Really appreciate you being here.